Let's go.
If you smell what the gauntlet is cooking.
What's up, everybody? It's another Saturday night. Welcome to the Gauntlet. I'm your host, Denzel Snipes, and we got a jam-packed one here for you. First of all, big shout out to everybody else on Sideline Sports. Score app for sponsoring us. Big shout out to our boy JT Shiesty. Come on back soon, you know what I'm saying? And before we keep the train pushing, let's go ahead and get the guys in here. Y'all know me and my whack dog intros, but here you go anyway. All the way live from the mean streets of Livonia, Michigan. The mean streets of Livonia, Detroit, Michigan. I thought he was sitting in a closet just now, but it's really something else. But he got a nice little display for you tonight. But come on in here, Dom DeRubeis. What's going on?
Oh, wait.
Yes.
Gervin, Dinwiddie, Jay Rose, John Morant.
Yes.
That's Allen Iverson. That's Jalen Rose. And the yellow one you can't see. We're good. What's good?
That's what's hot, man. Yeah, you know what I mean? And we most definitely going to address the dude that is in your name handle this week here in just a little bit. But also, let's get the second one in here all the way in. I think he's in Silver Springs, Maryland. He might be in no, he's in DC. He's in DC. But he's our favorite banker. He's our favorite. Your boy JJ Jenkins, aka the Underground King of R&B. Get on in here.
yes.
I call him the Underground King. I call him the Underground King of R&B, no cap, because like you should really see the debates between me and him and some others behind some of the classics in R&B. But
let me be 100% honest, JoJo. Before you told, and I mean, like I didn't know because like we had this conversation the other night. I didn't know that you were of an alternative lifestyle. We became snap friends. I saw you singing all that R&B. I'm like, oh, okay. Now I see. Like, it ain't no way. Nobody loves R&B that much.
Listen, when I was 4 or 5 years old, when we used to take the trips down to North Carolina, my dad had us listening to the Stylistics, to the Temptations, all of that.
Shout out to our parents for having great taste in music.
Al Green, yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And so, like, even now when you get down and stuff, sometimes if I'm at home and I just cleaning up, them old songs just make it easier just to get
I
through
spent
the day.
2 whole days at work this week and didn't listen to anything that wasn't 1950 to 1965.
Yes.
Frankie Valley.
I'll go on like a 80s R&B binge, man. Like I'll throw Anita Baker on, I'll throw Sade on. Like,
bro, that whole first Anita Baker album is fire.
Yes. Rapture is a certified.
I was going to go see her, but the tickets were $150 and they sold out in 5 minutes.
Wow. And she's been retired for how long?
Right.
Man, that's crazy.
I didn't even know they were on sale. Someone was like, hey, Anita Baker's coming to town. Went and looked, sold out. I'm like,
I sure would have gotten rip roaring drunk and went and gone see some Anita Baker. Before we continue, so we were in a small discussion backstage, and I just want to let everyone know out there, okay? If you look at my name handle, yes, cauliflower is compared to fart as a vegetable. It's bland. It is bland as Sonic food. Yes, I said it.
He said bland as Sonic food.
I actually
Sonic ain't that bland.
You have to season it well. If you season it well, it's the bomb. My best friend, he made.
Yeah, you got to get pepper, something spicy,
some garlic
powder. You're right, garlic powder, cheese. I mean, it's a flour. I mean, were you gonna eat plain ass steamed broccoli with no salt or pepper or butter?
Broccoli naturally has more flavor to it, man. I mean, you could throw some,
But I'm saying, like, to your point, like we were supposed to put it in the oven, and we ended up taking a piece of it just to because we were trying to get a little hungry. So damn good, we ate the whole thing. Didn't even put it in the oven, but it's the way you seasoned it, and it was lit.
How about these MFers out there trying to puree cauliflower and tell me it's mashed potatoes?
What?
All of y'all doing that? go to hell.
Although all y'all throwing buffalo wing sauce on cauliflower and trying to pass that off, follow them to hell.
Well, you'd eat some cauliflower with wing sauce on it, though.
Whoa, bro, I'm a wing connoisseur. One thing we are not fit to do tonight
Okay,
is disrespect.
okay. That's
I'm
fair.
about to sit here and say, bro, you don't mess with the wings now. Them wings.
Okay, that's fair. You're right.
I'm
You're
trying to tell
right.
you something. Some of my best food nights came from eating some motherfucking wings, bro. Them wings, when them wings be hitting.
I went to B-Dubs and got a beer
Man.
and some buffalo chips. I don't get wings at B-Dubs anymore.
I don't even go to Buffalo Wild Wings anymore, honestly.
My buddy that I golf with, he lives up there. But anyways, let's go.
Yeah, we're gonna start this off with, of course, everyone's favorite Sports Morons of the Week, where we highlight the verbal Darwin Award winners of the week. So, Tyler, man, you got something to say?
Are you guys kidding me? Are you guys kidding me?
Okay, not verbally. What I saw was a play on the field. My sports moron of the week is Marcus Mariota. On the Falcons' opening drive, he had like an 8-yard scramble. He dove into the end zone for a touchdown. So apparently this man just doesn't want to play football. He's only going to play for 4, 5, 6 games, and he's diving into the end zone and doing a somersault for a touchdown in the preseason. So I guess he's cutting that life expectancy for this season from 6 games down to 4. But go Desmond Ridder. That's all I got.
I had a short one. So last night, rookie Desmond Ridder threw in the same game, the game-winning touchdown pass against the Lions. And of course, I go on Bleacher Report. That's like kind of my go-to to go and find the idiots. But I go on there and I start seeing these comments. Well, it wasn't a dime. He threw the winner. You know, that's what counts. He threw a win. He threw the winner. It's his first outing out there. Like, man, fans get so impatient. And shout out to Jacob Christner. He don't like fans like I don't like them. And it's living proof that people will just find anything to say. Anything to down this man. I mean, it literally was his first professional game, preseason or not. So cut him some slack, dude. Like, he did what he did to get the job done.
All right. So, I love my fan base. I really do. I love the Baltimore Ravens fan base. They are very passionate. They think the world of the team. They definitely can talk their trash. But one thing that I just absolutely gets on my nerves about my fans is that after a player has a good outing in a preseason game, all of a sudden my fan base tends to think that that's going to be the breakout player. So in this case, Shea Bridges had a good game against the Tennessee Titans. And then I love my boy Pablo, but my boy Pablo sat here and said, I think we found something in Shea Bridges. And I'm sitting here and I was like, you guys said the same thing about DeLance Turner the year before, Nate McCreary the year as well. It's just preseason. Everybody's going to have a good game. And so I just want y'all to realize, listen, we are good where we are. These players that have outbreak games, they're not going to just turn it on in a year. Maybe down the line, but right now, we gotta take that. We gotta take that L. Sorry.
It's just I think we kind of have a resounding agreement that fans can just be too much. But that's another story for another day.
It wasn't a dime. I'm pretty sure it was still a touchdown pass. Did he catch it? Did he have 2 feet down?
Yes,
did it count for 6 points? Did it win the game?
He threw it to where his receiver will catch the ball, and he was getting rushed, so he barely got the ball off. So, but anyway, we're gonna go ahead and move on to our player of the week, and that is quarterback Tony Romo. Now, we have how many resident Cowboy haters? It's probably too many, but I have always liked the guy. I never thought that he wasn't a troublemaker off the field or anything like that. He was very talented. I actually remember back in 2006 when Bledsoe got knocked out and he came in and he just started. And it's crazy because I had seen him on a depth chart in Madden 03, 04. I was like, who the hell is Tony Romo? And then years later, he turned out to be like that guy.
2006, he made the Pro Bowl. He only played 10 games. That's how good he
Exactly.
was.
He made and then yes, he was a 4-time Pro Bowler. Actually going a little bit earlier here. He went undrafted out of Eastern Illinois, the same alma mater as Jimmy G. He played for the Dallas Cowboys his entire career. 4-time Pro Bowler, 06, 07, 09, and 14. Second team All-Pro in 2014. He was the NFL passer rating leader in 2014. He was the NFL completion percentage leader in 2014. And he's a winner of the Walter Payton Award. Threw for 240 touchdown passes to 117 picks in his career. Career completion percentage good for 65.3%. Passer rating 97.1 for a career, which is really good. Passing yards, he has 34,183. I don't know about you, JJ, or you, Dom, but I always felt like this man had the short end of the stick. I always kind of felt like Jones put
He
too
had.
much.
He had. Oh, go ahead. I'll tell you when I get to my segment. Go ahead.
I've always felt that Jones put too much faith in him. Like maybe he thought he was Brady or he thought he was Manning.
The O-line was trash, which meant the run game was trash.
Yes.
Like let him live through those back injuries and play Dak's first 2 years. I think they win a Super Bowl.
They probably do, and you know what is so crazy because we've seen Romo with some pretty atrocious lines, and we've seen him with about 9-10 seconds to throw. So I always kind of thought he got the short end of the stick. He's definitely going to be in he's definitely a Cowboys Ring of Famer, a Hall of Famer, Hall of Very Good, but I don't foresee it. But I digress. I mean, Dom, it's on you, man. What did you think?
Well, first of all, 78-49 lifetime record, which is great. 248 touchdowns to 117 interceptions, which is also very great. Troy Aikman, take notes. He's also, as we presently stand, he has the all-time highest passer rating for a retired player. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is going to smash that by 5 to 10 points. But the thing that I heard about Romo for a lot of years, and it was true earlier in his career, they're like, oh, he throws too many picks. Like, yeah, early in his career, 19-13, 36-19, 26-14. Then he went 26-9, 11-7 in an injured year, 31-10. He had one more bad year, 28-19, but then 31-10, 34-9. It's like I said, he had nothing that Dak Prescott had, which means an O-line and therefore a run game. Their defense was actually, it was actually about like, given Dak's whole career and most of Romo's, it honestly equals out to about the same. They had a really good defense a couple of those years. Most of the rest of the time, it was average to slightly bad. But I've always been a Romo fan. I like him as a commentator too. Hall of Famer, probably not. Like you said, Hall of Very Good.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you can't complain.
Most definitely Hall of. He gave Dallas some great years.
I'd put him in and take Aikman out. If they both retire with no rings, people are like, Troy who?
True.
Michael who?
Well, here's the thing with Troy though. Troy, everyone knows during that Cowboys run when they won 3 out of 4, everyone should be in agreement that Emmitt Smith was the best player on that offense. Period. Point blank. Bottom line. Anyone who doesn't.
Yeah. Okay. Best one player. The best 5 players were the O-line.
With the O-line,
which gave Emmett the holes, Aikman the time, and Michael Irvin the time.
Yes, of course.
Like any average bum could run through that hole, sit in the pocket, making a panini and finding open receivers, and having 3 extra seconds to break off a route and get open. That's why Cooper Kupp, not that good. Sorry, Cooper Kupp, we love you.
I know a lawyer out there watching that might be watching this and getting mad, but that's another story. JJ, what were your thoughts on Tony Romo, man?
Dom never ceases to amaze me with his takes on certain people. It's hilariously funny.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, Dom, you and I know because we definitely had it out the other day about Lamar Jackson and stuff. You know, that was
Every
fun.
day, every day that we talk.
That was fun. No, Tony
I
Romo
like
was
Lamar. I'm rooting for him.
Tony Romo is the type of guy that he may not be in the top 5 quarterbacks, but he could be a top 5 quarterback head to head. And that's something that he has demonstrated in his career. My first memory of Tony Romo, I can recall that I remember seeing his greatness was the year of 2007, where they were both 5-0 versus New England Patriots during the year the Patriots went undefeated in the regular season. And that was the best game I've seen in a while because he actually was matching Tom Brady step for step. T.O. was on the team.
24 comebacks, 29 game-winning drives.
But what
and how many more where he fell just short?
I think early on he did get a little nervous in situations, but I have to honestly sit there and say this, and I'll stand by this. Dez caught it, and if Dez caught it and had a chance to go up to Seattle, we would have saw Dallas in the Super Bowl because they were the one team that had the formula to beat the Sling to the Boom, which was DeMarco Murray with Jason Witten, and then Tony Romo was a good enough quarterback. That was his year to really break the ice. And at the end of the day, the beginning was different. He elevated his team, and I remember Tony Romo's career for me has always been centered around one game. Broncos versus Cowboys when they lost
2013
54-51. They were going back to back to back to back to back to back, and he was killing them. He was lighting them up. Peyton Manning had to match him, but then that's how Tony Romo's career gives you greatness and everything. He just made one mistake.
I thought you were going to say the game where he was the holder and he buffed the hold.
You know, my takes.
That was years before this game. We had.
Oh, it was.
I'm talking about this. That was like his first or second year at being a quarterback. I'm talking about right in that game because when he threw that one pick, that's always been the defining moment of his career. He has.
And when is the quarterback anymore the holder? It's always the punter.
He's always got a chance to get to the hump, but has never gotten over the hump, and that has always been a thing. But I'm a big Romo fan. And I don't think he was as bad as people wanted to be. He was just an easy target because he was Jerry Jones's prize jewel, and he did have really deep ties with him. So I think it wasn't more Jerry putting too much faith in him. I think Jerry's bravado of always talking about we're this dominant because with Tony Romo's here, and Tony Romo's my quarterback. He's this great person. The bravado was a little too much more for Tony Romo to handle when he should just let Tony Romo be Tony Romo. Like, if you let Tony Romo be Tony Romo and not have all that bravado to it, I could see a Super Bowl for Tony Romo with those Cowboys teams that he's had.
Right. Yeah.
Dez did catch it, but also that was a pass interference on Brandon Pettigrew.
And as far as the
karma, but that's not what we lost the game.
It was a PI, but
we lost the game.
As far as the Broncos game that you talk about, JJ, my take on it always has been, first of all, not a lot of people talk about this, but Romo actually outpassed Manning that game. Second, so it was actually Manning chasing him.
He was getting Manning. He was giving it
to him. He was lighting him up. Yeah, he outpassed Manning that game. You know, no one talks about that, though. And
Manning
the second
had to catch up to him. He wasn't trying to catch Manning. Manning was trying to keep up with him.
Exactly. You know, and number two, and this is the thing that I've always said is everyone talks about, oh, Romo blew it. He threw the ill-fated interception. But last I checked, Romo didn't give up 48 points. And this is what I keep talking about with fans. Stop absolving the defense and then just throwing blind blame on the quarterback.
It more often than not, and a lot of the time it should fall on the quarterback. But if the quarterback makes one bad play, throws one bad pick, whatever. But like you said, 48 points.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's the thing.
That's Matt Stafford in Detroit. Did Matt Stafford throw some bad picks that cost us games? Sure. Did he also go out there and have to overcome giving up 35 points? Yes. Did he do that a lot? Yes.
The thing that you brought up, I think the thing about that particular situation in that game is that there were better options people felt like they could have done because he really didn't need to have that chunk play right then and there because they had the lead. Or they were behind, but they were rolling down the field. They could have methodically got down there and probably scored.
Oh, like Dak in the playoff game last year?
I think they got caught up. No, I don't know what you're talking about right there. I think they got caught up in that showcase, so he was trying to do a little too much. And if he just quarterbacks get ahead of themselves sometimes, some of them have to reel it in. And at that moment, I don't think he reeled it in because there were better options. He was trying to get chunk for chunk.
And you know what? This is why I say the things I do about Dak Prescott, because I don't want to see Dak Prescott suffer the same fate as Tony Romo. We all know that
I do.
if you put up, we know, Dom. We all know that if you put up 48 points, that's more than enough to win the game. There should be no reason why you put up 40 points and you lose.
Unless your defense is absolute trash, putting up 28 points should be enough. If you can lead your offense to 4 touchdowns and your defense can't stop the other team from scoring 4 touchdowns, because if you give up 28 points per game for a season, that's got your defense in the bottom 5.
Probably, yeah.
Maybe bottom 3. If you could score 28 points and your defense can't stop them, that's on the defense. What are we drinking tonight? Oh, wait, wrong show? Lemon drop bang and vodka. It's delicious. A little sweet, but delicious.
Go ahead, JJ.
No, I was because honestly.
No, wait, wrong show?
I'm the type of person. I am accustomed
Thursday for that?
My team's keeping people under 20 points. That's kind of been my little bar note because.
Oh, yeah, Trent Dilfer.
We didn't even really talk about Trent Dilfer, but, you know.
Should be.
I was picking recent.
How many points did he put up per week?
Typically 20.
How many points did that offense score? Let me go look.
It was Jamal Lewis and Shannon Sharp and Quadra Ishmael for a time or two.
Shannon Sharp is the most underrated tight end of all time.
Oh, Big Play Shay was the man. That was my guy all day. Anything.
The Black and Mild and the Hennessy and the do-rag.
You knew he was that. You knew he was that dude when he walked in, and Ray Lewis looked at him like family. He wasn't playing around with that stuff. He knew what Shay was all about because we played them plenty of times, and so it was always about that. But go back to say about the whole. I don't think Dak's going to be that way. I think they have a good team. We'll see.
We are. Well, actually, you know what? We can discuss it a little bit more in this next topic that we got coming up. And that is, so I took the liberty of looking up the NFL preseason power rankings via Bleacher Report. And of course, I didn't do every team, but I did do the top 10. So coming in at 10 was Denver, 9 was Dallas, 8 Baltimore.
Can I cuss?
Hold on, Dom. Let me finish.
What the F does a power ranking even mean? What does it mean?
Oh, Dom, shush, just because you ain't never been up there. Let them have some fun.
Once upon a time, for a week, we cracked the top 20. Sorry, Jay, go ahead.
8's Baltimore, 7 Green Bay, 6 Chargers, 5 KC, 4 Tampa Bay, 3 Cincinnati, 2 Buffalo, 1 Los Angeles Rams. So my question, and we'll start with Dom. Do you agree with every one of them? Who should go lower and who should go higher?
Chargers, move them down. I'm still trying. Because I literally Googled 2,000 Baltimore Ravens points per game. Guess what they showed me? The defense, they gave up 10.
Yeah.
I still can't. They will not show me. JoJo, you should know. Less than 20, I'm sure.
You average 50. What are you talking about? I'm just playing.
I'm down with most of it, other than
the Baltimore Ravens offense is right now.
I mean, it doesn't matter if you averaged 11. 11 is better than 10. I'm just saying. 10 points a game. That's silly.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's like 15, 16.
Yeah, Bleacher Report, dear Bleacher Report, ease up on the Chargers. I love Justin Herbert. We all love Justin Herbert, but get to the playoffs first. Then win a playoff game, which is a huge leap because Chargers going Charger. The only way they even make the playoffs is if they only Charger for 2 games in the middle of the season because they're either going to start out 1-4 or they're going to limp into and or miss the playoffs because they finished 1-4. The rest of it is fine, but just be easy on the Chargers.
They started 5-1 this last year.
Any other teams?
Yeah, no, what happened?
I mean, 4-1.
Chargers gone Charger. Death and taxes, and the Chargers missing the playoffs or limping in and losing in the first round.
No, I was just sitting there saying they got 1 or 2 different directions. They can either start off bad, catch fire, or start hot and dwindle.
Yeah, that's what they do. Chargers going Charger.
Mm-hmm. Any other teams you had in mind, Dom? Out of the 10?
Tell me the 10 again real fast. Just boom, 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 boom.
All right, from 10 to 1, Denver, Dallas, Baltimore, Green Bay,
Denver, get out.
Kansas City 5, Tampa 4, Cincy 3, Buffalo 2, Rams 1.
Tampa, no. They're going to lose to the Rams in the playoffs again. Like I said, what power rankings? What does that even mean? What does it even mean in college football or basketball? Like power rankings? What does that even mean? No one can tell me.
It's basically,
It's your Madden roster rankings.
No, I think it's more about.
It is.
Not necessarily. I think
it's that, and maybe like your strength of schedule or lack thereof.
But honestly, if you read the actual description of the power rankings, they're really not just speaking off of anything, man. They're basically previewing where the team is at that time, and then say, "Hey, this is a test
and the schedule." So Green Bay is way up there, but they're going to lose in the first round to us, or the Rams will lose in the first round to us. Whoever doesn't get that bye, we're going there and beating them. Bet me.
This man said he already making the playoffs.
For real?
Whoa!
No. I said no. Listen.
Okay, let's go.
No. It's a qualifying statement.
No,
if we
talking like you already made the playoffs.
If we sneak in, if we make the playoffs.
Now you clarify and say if we make the playoffs.
If we make the playoffs, it says the 7th seed, and we're going to either Green Bay if they let us walk over, or LA. Either way, we're walking out of LA or Green Bay with a win.
So a team that doesn't play outside is going to automatically walk outside into the frozen tundra of Green Bay and beat them?
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row.
Really?
Really?
With no Matthew Stafford, who never did it with you.
Hey, listen, I called Matt Stafford beating Brady in the playoffs last year. I called Derrick Henry getting hurt. Like, I put the Dom in Nostradamus.
Oh, God. Anyway, go ahead. I'm with it. Do you have more to add on to it? Because I will wait.
No, that's it. That's all I got.
JJ, what do you think, man?
I think Denver being there at 10 is basically purged off the quarterback right then and there because people still regard Russ as a top 10, top 5 quarterback. And then you put him on a team, a team that
I don't think he's top 5 anymore.
He's at the 6 and 7 for me, honestly. He's still up there because at the end of the day,
I'll take Derek Carr, who's actually going to make the playoffs. But keep going.
I actually got him behind him. We did the AFC West rankings a couple.
You were all about the Raiders last year.
I did think they were.
So was I.
I did think they were going to jump, but again, I still think Russell Wilson is that player to be able to add a team and put them into a ranking where they could possibly compete for a playoff spot.
I don't think he knows what to do with a clean pocket, though, because he hasn't seen one in 5 years.
I think he does. I don't think because he may see 90.
Does he?
65% of the time.
Could you go do a job that you haven't done in 5 years or a part of a job?
We're talking about how are you? It doesn't. Your logic doesn't make sense there.
Sure, it does.
No, Dom, it doesn't. Because if you're sitting here saying with a clean pocket because he's not used to, he won't know what to do with it. But we have to realize there was a point in time where he had a clean pocket, and that's he was able to get to the level he did. So obviously, you don't just lose it after it hasn't happened. Plus, even during stretches where he didn't have a clean pocket,
use it or lose it.
When he had majority of the time, there's still a chance that he has the clean pocket in those same times. But that's neither here nor there. I particularly myself don't care about where my team ranks in the power rankings because I really don't care about this type of stuff. It's always fun to look at just because I like to see how they rank teams and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's fun because I want to see what they're thinking or what they see. You know,
I want to see the bottom 5.
At the end of the day, I've said this repeatedly, and I keep saying this every time. I'll go to toe-to-toe with any team in the league at the end of the day because what we were talking about, like I said, when Lamar Jackson went down, yes, the Ravens were definitely down severely, but the Ravens were in pretty much every single game except for the Cincinnati Bengals. So you take that and bring this guy back with a team that has guys that may not be the top tier talent now. They're on a team that they know how to play with for the people that they're playing with. So I think I'm all right with that. I ain't tripping on that.
Real quick.
I'm sitting there thinking like, wow.
Real quick, let me give you the bottom 5.
Joe Burrow beats Patrick Mahomes one time, and all of a sudden he jumps him by 2 spots. And their team, I was like, oh, y'all really now y'all ready to? You guys are trying to prime Burrow to be the face of the league. Prime Burrow to be that next tier player because he's got the moxie.
I'll take Burrow over Herbert.
They really want Cincinnati to be.
Well, you don't. We all do.
I really don't care if they are or not because it doesn't matter. You can be up there and still
Me and
lose.
Jay called it last year. They're like, "Oh, we're about to smash them Titans." Bottom 5: Seattle, Chicago, Atlanta, Carolina, Houston.
In Houston, yeah.
Dang, they got no faith in Justin Fields with the new coach.
He's awful. They have no receivers. They have no O-line. And Justin Fields is an Ohio State quarterback until proven otherwise.
Which he pretty much graduated from there, so that's always going to stick. but yeah, I would say out of the 10, yeah, I definitely moved Denver out of there. I wish I could hear 11 through 15. I mean,
oh wait, I can look.
My bold prediction for the season was that Herbert was going to win MVP, but as a team, I got Baltimore better. So I would actually have Baltimore and the Chargers switch spots. The top 5, I have no problem with.
I mean, I see Philly, Arizona, the Colts down in there in the 11 to 15. I can't put Denver out of there for any of them.
You know what? You mentioned the Cardinals. I probably would put Cards at 10, with replacing Denver.
Well, suffice to say, we are not having to worry about a starting quarterback getting to play a home game for the Super Bowl. Sorry, Kyler Murray. You're a midget, and you don't watch game film.
Well,
I don't think he's not watching game film. I think he ain't watching enough.
Just imagine if he did. But we're gonna move on to our next topic here, and that is in recent news, former running back Frank Gore charged with domestic violence. So this is via the Washington Post. 28-year-old woman from Miami accused him of forcibly dragging her through a casino. He's scheduled to appear in court for it on 17 October. Just this past June, he signed a one-day contract in June to retire a 49er. We all know, and we've talked. It seems like we're something's happening every other week with some player in domestic violence. But I mean, it's a bad look. It's a very bad look, especially for a dude who's in the top 10 all time in NFL rushing.
3, 4,
3.
Yeah. 3. He's third.
3.
He's third, So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Dom, we think about this situation. I mean, with a guy like this, you go so long. We had him as the what's the word I'm looking for here? He was like Iron Man, like, oh, when's he ever going to retire? We said this like 5 years ago in old All Sports. When's he ever going to retire? He's still running hard. He's played for like half the league, but the off-duty things, and it just goes to show, just because you are a certain status, you're an athlete, you're an actor, actress, whatever, you're not immune to nothing, and especially actresses. Yeah, shout out to you, Amber Heard. Not immune to nothing. We gonna keep it sports. We gonna keep it thoroughbred horses. Dom, what do you think about the situation?
Really bums me out because I've been a huge Frank Gore fan for his whole career. I mean, first of all, he's a throwback because back then, around when he came into the league, running backs from the U were the shiz. Willis McGahee.
Yep.
Clinton Portis. Frank Gore.
Yep.
Just hung around forever. And unlike other running backs from state of Florida colleges, Emmitt Smith, he didn't overstay his welcome. He hung around forever, but he wasn't trying or expecting to be a lead back. But I mean, he retired with all those carries, all those yards, but he was still over 4 yards per carry for his career. And I mean, obviously he retired a couple of years ago, but to hear something like this, to me, and in a lot of ways, it's actually worse. Like for this to happen with Frank Gore getting charged with domestic violence, it's like when I found out that Gary Sheffield was probably doing PEDs. Like, Gary Sheffield's my favorite baseball player ever, But just to
Chef,
find that out,
Chef's a bit of an ass, dude. Like I kind of
he
saw that
is, but I
coming.
love him.
I
Love
kind of saw
him.
that coming, you know. But
Hanging out with Barry Bonds. But yeah, to find out that like an all-time great, and I mean, as far as I know, you never heard anything bad about Frank Gore off the field ever. And especially considering that he went to the U, like it's kind of surprising. Like he played the game the right way. And I mean, this doesn't even take away from his on the field accomplishments, but for something like this, it's just like, man,
this is
like
a
that,
disappointment.
yeah, really bummed me
So,
out.
You're no shade, and I love my Canes, but you really are kind of surprised about that. I mean, he is from the same school and the same team where there was a perverted tight end that played in Cleveland and Kellen Winslow Jr.
Yep.
So it's like at the end of the day, and what
The
is
Canes were my first favorite college football team, though, in like '93.
And what were we known as? Honestly, Miami's a party school, so I mean that's not either relevant to the conversation, but they some rowdy boys and they some rowdy dudes, and I think Frank is from the country, and I do think it's just
He's also from the all early man team.
One thing I do about it's not just I think what I've seen that what makes people react so strongly is not just the fact that it's domestic abuse. It's also the description, like it's describing that he dragged the woman naked across the hall. And so at the end of the day, it's not only what it does, it brings shock to it because you're reading about somebody basically being manhandled. And the thing is, though, when you read the article, the details are vague because it just came out.
Right.
Unfortunately, even though it's not right, but this is how the world is that whether he's innocent or not, the initial shock of this situation is going to stick with more people than it may should if he's found innocent. It's like I think I'm a little tired because it's like every time it's like always somebody we just got finished dealing with Deshaun Watson or coming to a close on his thing, and then here comes the Frank Gore situation, and then it's just like unfortunately in the NFL, when I look back at these cases, it's unfortunately mostly brothers. I can't really remember the last one.
It's probably Deshaun Watson's camp that broke the story, hoping for a shorter appeal.
Even more crazier is the fact of the matter is that domestic abuse is with the way they're talking about is here, and then yet the one that was kind of the most egregious one was Josh Brown, the kicker for the New York Giants, and to the point where his wife literally was running for her life to be around from not being around him. And so it's like I just want this, like I hate to say it, but the first thing in my mind came in, and we're a real TV show. I say it's like I was like, dang, another black man. Like, come on, like at the end of the day, it's just don't even want to be associated with that.
I mean,
what that does for us, unfortunately, is if we can't really express our emotions for somebody that does something to hurt us, because the minute we get angry, we're labeled to be referring like that.
Like them.
Because
to me, it's really obvious. A lot of these effers clearly did not listen to their Soldier Slim, because you know what he said? If I got to beat you, then I don't need you. Let the next man do it.
But to be honest with you, Dom, it's when domestic violence is specifically the character of feeling like when you get into an argument that you have to do this on somebody, you don't get like we always say our minds are most impressionable when we're young. So anything we see right there is imprinted on us. And I remember a situation where I did know someone who was beating girlfriends, and he said it because his dad did it and his grandfather did it. And that's unfortunately what we see a lot.
It's messed up because that cycle, it tends to repeat. You would think like, oh, I witnessed that growing up. I would never do that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you said, JoJo, it's imprinted on you.
Yeah. But, you just have to have it in you to break that cycle. Like, it's not that easy, but at the same time, it's like,
my dad was a cheater.
This is what makes men. You would think this is what makes men.
And I've been a cheater.
I always, whenever I see these situations, I always wish that I had a chance to really talk to somebody like Frank Gore and be like, bro, I get being mad about something, but when you're angry, you have to think about where you are as a person and who you are to the world or people around you. And because at the end of the day,
it's not even that. It's just
the older you grow, the
take
more
a step back and
the way you're supposed to learn. How are you able to survive in the NFL by adjusting to rules and regulations to being able to conform or trying to, keep yourself at a certain level? Apply that to the rest of your life, because just the near notion of being about it you will have to now defend yourself to
Right.
someone because
Right,
of this
yeah. Think
particular
about the
situation.
consequences. It's just
And
some people don't do
whether
that.
you're-
And we've
whether
all
you're
done that.
innocent- Whether you're innocent or not, it's just the fact that you'll have to explain something about you that you really don't think people need to attach to you.
My thing is, you were born a man. You grew up a man. Whether you were raised as a man or not, like at some point you realize, or it should click in, like this is what you do, even if you don't know what to do.
And
You
that
know
thing was
what not to do. Like
what's
you
rough
don't.
with
You're
this
not
one-
always going to be a shining example. Don't be a
What's rough with-
cautionary tale.
What's
Right.
rough with this one is like, and it's like she was naked. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But it's like she was naked, which means good gracious. It's like it's almost like real talk. Like when you think about when they're describing something like this, and I really hope because the only thing that the police have said, hotel security and them itself did not observe serious injuries to her, but if she was at least indeed dragged, that's bad enough. And
Right.
it's like,
I
Yes,
never
it
put
is.
my hands on a woman like
The
that.
report says it was by her hair. Yes.
Never put my hands on a woman like that. There's been 50 times where I wanted to, but I'm like, no, don't do it.
Yeah, it's gonna look bad.
Don't do it.
and also,
Don't do it.
if we're talking professional sports as a whole, we just got off of Miles Bridges,
Yeah.
and now we're here, and it's like,
Just don't do it.
Dude, you saw the Major League Baseball made an example out of Trevor Bauer. He's going for how long?
Probably forever.
You know,
Probably forever.
But we do have to move on to the next topic, and that is I'm interested to hear your thoughts about this one. So earlier, Browns running back Kareem Hunt
Violence.
requested trade. You know what? I forgot all about that.
Yeah,
Browns
that's why he's
running
in the
back-
situation he's in.
Yep, he requested a trade, and the trade was denied by the team. My thoughts on this, real quick, before I pass it to Dom. I think that Kareem Hunt, and this is just my opinion, I think he wants to go. You know, I think he's tired of splitting carries, y'all. You know, he already
Leading rusher as a rookie.
yes, and that's my point. That's the thing.
And then you beat him.
When you hang on one second, hang on. When you have a rushing crown under your belt, you don't want to split too many carries with people. And everyone knows in Cleveland, the man is Nick Chubb. You know what I mean? He wants to go somewhere where he wants to be the alpha dog. And I mean, I'm not mad at that. I kind of feel like this is like the best recent years for the Browns. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's just my raw thoughts on it. I thought that I think that Kareem wants to go somewhere where he wants to be the man. He's still young. He can still get up there. Some of y'all probably have him better than Elliott right now. But Dom, what do you think about this situation?
Well, like you said, the last time he was a lead back as a rookie from University of Toledo, the Glass City. Shout out to the 619. He won a rushing title as a rookie, and that was the last time like I said, last time he was a lead back. Then I don't remember what the specifics of it was, but I think it was the same kind of thing. He either hit a chick or like grabbed her by her hair, dragged her through somewhere. He got cut immediately. He got signed by the Browns, and now he's splitting carries with sorry, not sorry, Derrick Henry or whoever else. Jonathan Taylor, you're getting hurt. Nick Chubb's the best running back in the NFL. 5.3 yards per carry for his career. I'm not mad at Kareem Hunt for wanting to go back to somewhere and be the lead dog, but it's like you put yourself in this situation and you're not going to get that money splitting carries. And yeah, they're not going to trade you because they're like, damn, we have the best running back in the NFL and probably a top 12 running back as a backup, and the best backup, not even a backup, just the guy getting 40% of the carries, and he's a great pass catcher, but he probably forgets, or he wants you to forget, or he wants the league to forget about what happened, and that's why he's in this position. Had he not done what he did, like I said, yet again, domestic violence, like you put yourself in this situation. Maybe he gets traded eventually. Plus, sadly, but I mean, it's the deal with every lead back in the NFL. They all get hurt. And of course, the Browns don't want to trade him because chances are Nick Chubb misses 2 or 3 games this year, and Kareem Hunt is a pretty good second fiddle.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And,
it's on you, Kareem Hunt.
but in playing devil's advocate, but Kareem Hunt, it's like, well, you just said it. I'm the lead dog. I don't want to go somewhere where I'm number 2 and I'm not a shell of myself. You know how like former number 1s, they end up a backup, but it's like 10 years later and they're shelling themselves. Kareem Hunt still has how many good years in him? He wants to spend that as a
Several.
lead.
Plus, he's low mileage.
Exactly.
Yeah, he could go somewhere and be a great lead back for 3, 4, 5 more years. But of course, Cleveland doesn't want to let him go.
Yeah. So you kind of understand both sides of the fence here. But JJ, what do you think about this, man?
I think we're forgetting one big element about this, and I think this kind of may lead to why I think he wants to leave. A big reason why they were a double-edged sword in terms of a two-pronged attack with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt is because they didn't have too much faith in their quarterback.
Ding.
Now there's a quarterback that's coming in who doesn't really need to have a running game to be super effective. And so you can still work with not just having – so those carries are going to be what you would normally get.
Listen, that's why they denied the trade. Because Watson's out for God knows how long.
So for them, Cleveland's thinking like, well, he's going to be gone for 6 games, so we still need you. But after 6 games, that's typically the trade deadline. You're not getting traded if they decide to keep you. So you better put it out there and do what you do. But I strongly
when's the trade deadline? October? Late October?
Yeah, I firmly believe this is because Deshaun Watson is here. And if Nick Chubb happens to only have 65 yards a game, you have a quarterback that can still win the game for you as opposed to the one before who couldn't, where you had to rely on you. And at the end of the day, we always say running back, when they hit 27, 28, your time is not as prevalent as it once was. Yeah. So you better get your butt to a team where you can be used in a way so you can impact, because he has his own dreams. And yes, he made a mistake, but the fact that he got his chance again, he's not going to not seize it. And for right now, this does not feel like it's going to seize his opportunity. And I'll be very honest with you. I understand that. And I will say, of all the backups, it actually raised a debate for me, because the last time this guy played, he had more production than Kareem Hunt, I believe. And that is the running back that resides with the black and purple Gus Edwards.
Love Gus.
Say Gus Edwards or Kareem Hunt, I think is a good debate, because when Gus was around, Gus almost had 1,000 yards as a split carry guy. So it's like the backup role.
He was the best rushing attack in the league at the time.
The Baltimore
Ravens, I wanted the Lions to pick up Kareem Hunt when he got cut, but we don't do that.
I'm going on a little tangent right now, but the Baltimore Ravens have a top 5 backup running back and a top 5 backup quarterback. And so, at the end of the day, that's just a little shout out to my team. Boom. But in terms of Kareem Hunt, I think if Cleveland really want to say, they looking at each other like, listen, we want to keep you, but we have a good chance to get a haul for you. Maybe that can help us for the next couple years. I look to see if there's a team that's like trying to get on the cusp of being contention that would be sitting there and trying to send them out to get like maybe a 3rd round pick or a prospect player.
Now that I think about it, I don't necessarily understand
maybe
denying the trade because.
Well, hold on. Two things here. 2 things. Number one, to JJ's point, Kareem Hunt, and also to yours too, Dom, because he is getting his chance again after his incident, because he saw what happened with Ray Rice. And Ray Rice never played another down. He considers himself lucky. Number 2, if I was him, I wouldn't feel too much sour grapes about being denied right now, because there is always a trade deadline. So what he needs to do is he needs to get out there and grind and hustle, because he's building his resume right now.
Depends on how dead in the water Cleveland is or isn't come trade deadline.
With the Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts up and coming, adding a Kareem Hunt for them might not be a bad idea. And the thing is, to your point, if he shows the production despite all the chaos, some team is going to try to inquire about, like, hey, I know you said he wasn't on the, trade block, but, what's good? Like, what's up? Like, what you want?
I mean, Houston's got a ton of draft picks.
Because he's even the perfect
type. You got Marlon Mack, though. Marlon Mack is a G.
And they honestly could do 2 different things with this situation, because he's the type of person that you can even see a contending team adding on to give him an extra boost to try to make the Super Bowl because he's a worthy and capable Blunt. Which reminds me of LeGarrette Blunt with Tampa was a New England
That's the
Patriots.
thing. Yeah,
They
if Cleveland's dead in the water come trade deadline, get whatever you can.
Yeah, send them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get some of those draft picks back.
I'm gonna we're gonna take about 30 seconds here. We're gonna get a word from our sponsor. See you in 30 seconds.
Sports fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. From all the leagues, teams, and players you love, unique one-of-a-kind designs exclusively by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars shipped directly to your home. Join Fanatics Rewards for free to earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and for a limited time, get 20% off all orders. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
I damn sure hope I did that right, and if not, then
Wait, was that Kevin Harlan narrating our commercial?
That sounded like Kevin Harlan. It did.
That was Kevin Harlan. There's no one that sounds that much like Kevin Harlan except Kevin Harlan. Shout out to you, Kevin Harlan. Thanks for the narration on our commercial.
But we're gonna get on to our next topic, just real quick. It's not necessarily breaking news that happened last night, but however, crisis averted. So on a non-contact play last night in a preseason game at Philadelphia, Jets quarterback Zach Wilson went down with a knee injury and he was out of the game. It was feared that he tore his ACL, but officially has come back. He's got a slightly torn meniscus. He's only out 2 to 4 weeks. JJ, you heard something that said it was going to be 4, but the good news out of this is that it's not a torn ACL. So, I mean, that's really great for the young man. You know what? I've always said that, torn ACLs and torn quads and being wrestling fans, Dom, we've seen Triple H. He suffered 2 of these. They can be the scariest ones out there because you literally could be running, you make a cut and then that's it, So, yeah, yeah, exactly. So, I think that, the world kind of breathed a sigh of relief because whether you like the Jets or not, or what you think about Zach Wilson so far, you never want to see anyone get hurt. So, what do you think about this, Dom?
I want to see the MRI of it because with the torn meniscus, it depends on if it's a partial tear or a complete tear. A complete tear, honestly, is better because they'll go in and repair it, and then you'll be, in something completely immobilized. But if it's a partial tear, like if it's like a piece off, that's actually worse. Mm-hmm. Because they're like, oh, it'll heal. You can walk on it, and you can do this in blah 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 in 2 or 3 weeks. But I'd rather have it completely torn and they put it back together versus like it's a piece hanging off. But I mean, it's the Jets. Like, does it really matter? And I like Zach Wilson, although he's Sam Darnold 2.0 until proven otherwise.
It would be.
I mean, I'm with him on the hollering at MILFs, but. I mean, it sucks for them, but I think, I don't know. And I saw you say it last night, Jay, like, oh, it's Jimmy G time, but I don't know. Joe Flacco's there, and he was looking real good in camp, but I mean,
Jimmy
it's the
G
Jets.
on the team?
Jimmy G's just hanging out.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Jimmy
what I'm
G's waiting. Jimmy G's waiting to get traded to a contender. Jimmy G's a winner. I don't think he has any sort of say as to where he gets traded. I wouldn't want to go to the Jets. But
the Lions.
How will I say
Garoppolo to the Lions.
If Joe Flacco does,
I said it before. If we get to the playoffs and it's Goff's fault that we don't win, go get me Jimmy G. But go ahead, Joe.
Go ahead, Joey.
Okay. I like Zach Wilson. Yes, Dom. I'm sitting there just realizing anytime I started, you jumped in. I'm just like, oh gosh, just every time.
I'm sorry.
Every time. And I was just like, do I gotta yell? So let me stop. But anyway.
You gotta yell.
Joe Flacco.
Be heard.
If he does have a chance to get the start, it makes for a storyline because look who they play at first. You know, Joe Flacco gets the chance to go against Baltimore again. And a part of you actually kind of wants that because, you know, I'm not going to get on Flacco because I have got on Flacco for so many years and I'll just let that go. That's my voice.
I had to mute him. Go ahead.
So good. Oh, he's about to cut me off again. Boy, yeah, keep him
I
on
was
mute.
supporting the mute. This whole thing was me supporting the mute.
Okay.
I deserved it.
Go ahead,
No, but,
JJ.
it is better than it was. The initial would have been out for a whole year. And after experiencing a guy that's promising and looks like they're going to have a chance to take the next step, to see them lose their season like we did with J.K. Dobbins, I'm glad to see that he can get a chance to come back because I think he really, with their coach, they're building something there. It's just they're taking time, and I'm glad they were taking it the right way. But if you wanted to have a quarterback that you could at least, with the beginning of the year, nothing to expect, no trends have been said about your team, no injuries have set in mainly on like all people. There's nothing like it's just week one, anything goes. You might have a chance of possibly upsetting a team if you had Joe Flacco there. Now, do I, of course, think that's going to happen? Probably not, because who they're playing against.
Well, hold on. Whatever happened to Miggity Mike White?
What about Zach Wilson makes you think he's anything more than Sam Darnold 2.0?
He's listed
Mac Daddy Mike White.
He's listed as QB3 right now on their depth chart, meaning they put him there. And I don't recall, I don't know, was Joe Flacco there last year?
Yes.
But he was hurt.
Yes, because that's why White even played. They had that monster game versus Cincinnati.
Again, he was QB3 behind Flacco back then. Now Flacco's healthy. He ain't going over Flacco. Because whether you like Flacco or not, Flacco is not a quarterback.
Mike White was a flash in the pan. That was like a Frank Wright or a Gus in the playoffs.
That Bengals game made him. I wish people in this world stop overrating players based off of one game. Good gracious. You did that with Matt Flynn when he beat the Lions with Matthew Stafford over there. You did that with Malcolm Butler because of the Super Bowl, and you're trying to do this now with Mike White.
I'm obviously trolling, but hey, Matt Flynn got a national championship in the Super Bowl. I ain't mad at Buddy. But we're in the last 2 minutes, so real quick, non-sports topic. Green Ranger versus White Ranger. Who do you think is better? I had to come up with one real quick because I didn't hear from Dom all week. I was like, Dom, it's on you. And then nothing. So who do you think will win out of a fight? Tommy versus Tommy. Green Ranger versus White Ranger. Let's start off with JJ on this one.
Well, of all the topics that you want to start me on where I actually have nothing to say, I've been waiting all show long to be second to talk about something from a sports topic, and you pick me on the one that I got nothing to say. I wasn't a Power Rangers person.
Okay,
see, you blew it.
Color.
You blew it.
How did I? What are you talking about?
Okay, would you rather a dragon or a white tiger?
Oh,
you're the resident safari animal.
I forgot the animals.
So you saying like a Komodo dragon or a white tiger?
Dragon?
No, it was a dragon. A
mythical dragon, okay, as beautiful as the tiger is.
Green Ranger.
Give me that dragon. Give me Hayozanru, blue eyes white dragon, red eyes black dragon. Give me all of it.
Okay. Tommy versus Tommy. Who do you got, Dom?
I conferred with my outside sources who said green prior to, and I said dragon or white tiger. She still said dragon. So yeah, OG Tommy. With the top knot.
With the dagger flute. Absolutely. All right, so we are actually in the last 15 minutes of the show. And one more thing, I kind of sneak this in, just like last week. You must pick one. I'm gonna keep torturing y'all till James' ass get back. You must pick one. Rocky Mountain oysters or seasoned crickets.
What kind of question is this?
You have to eat one. You must eat one. Go ahead, Dom.
all day I'll eat a bug rather than a bull's testicle. I never knew what that was till a handful of years ago. I'm like, what's a Rocky Mountain oyster? Then I looked it up and I'm like,
Yep.
I mean, generally my thing is, because you said liver or whatever, or chitlins, like I'm not eating any part of any I'm not eating any part of any animal unless it's flesh or milk. I'm not eating testicles, liver, intestine, heart, none of that crickets all day.
Oh yeah, and I mean I put because like actually if you go to certain stores they actually like sell them in like bags. It's a delicacy in East Asia. But what about you, JJ? Rocky Mountain oysters or seasoned crickets?
I didn't
He likes
know
balls.
what the Rocky Mountain. I didn't know what the Rocky Mountain oyster was until Dom said it, and I'll just starve.
He said neither. Pull the trigger.
Pull the trigger.
Third option is pull the trigger.
I'll just starve.
You can't.
I'm sorry. I'm not.
Pull the trigger is no longer an option. You got to pick one.
I would never.
I like this as a late topic.
I would never survive. I would never do a fear factor for this particular reason. Nope, I'm not touching any of this stuff. And matter of fact, I have no
idea.
I would probably punch the person who actually asked me the question to choose. So, Jay,
like it could be perfectly deep fried with the best batter ever, but imagine just a bite and it's balls, so there's semen in there.
Okay, all right, guys, we're out of time. I just had to get a kick out of this one, but I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Please find us on YouTube and drop that like button.
I'm gonna throw up.
Shout out to our boy Philly Jim.
I'm gonna throw up.
He had to end the show with that in our
Demon.
minds.
You know who I am. First day in the chat, JoJo.
Hold on, hang on. And I know I'm doing my closings here. Go back to the early episodes of the Gauntlet. There's been worse things said.
I've heard them.
Penis cancer. Man boner for Kevin Love.
Yeah.
That's just the highlights.
We get it. We got that. Thank you for everybody for tuning in to the Gauntlet, and we're gonna see you all next week for JJ Ravens aficionado and Oob Boo. Man, turn that around. There you go. And
Sparkly this way though.
Detroit Dom. I'm Denzel Snipes. See y'all next week.